payment reconciliation journal combines two important functions. So first of all, it's a journal, which means that you can enter transactions just like in a cash receipt journal or a payment journal. And then secondly, you can use it to reconcile bank accounts. And what is very interesting is that you can combine these two functions. So let's have a look. I will go to cash management and open the payment reconciliation journals. You can of course also use the search function. So there's already one statement for the checking account that we will have a look at in a few moments. But let's first look at how we can create statements. Well, there are two functions. So you can import bank transactions or you can manually create a new journal. So if I do this and if I create one for the savings bank account, for example, the payment reconciliation journal will open, and now I can start entering lines manually, just like I would do in a cash receipt journal. So if you scroll to the right, you can see the GL account type. So for example, I could select customer. I can enter the customer number. We have all functions available like apply manually. And at the end, we can post the payment reconciliation journal like you can see here. So again, it's perfectly possible to create payment reconciliation journal lines manually, but in most cases it's more interesting and also more efficient to import bank statements. So remember, in one of the previous modules, you saw that you can create your own import formats. And based on that, you can then import bank transactions. And after selecting the file, the system will tell you how many lines have been applied. All right, so let's use the checking statement to have a look at some of the functions that you can use in the payment reconciliation journal. So in here you can see that this statement has a few lines, and like I just said, when you import a bank transaction, the system will tell you how many lines have been applied. Now in this case, all lines are applied. However, none of the lines have a match confidence of high. They only have medium and low, but they have been applied. Now, the fact that they have medium and low means that we need to review the applications. So as a user, you need to check them and you need to confirm them if they're okay. Now, which applications must be reviewed? That's something that you can set yourself in the payment application rules. So let me quickly show you. So in the payment application rules, you can specify all these rules that the program can use for the automatic application. And notice here the review required field. So in here in my demo company, only the lines with high confidence should not be reviewed. But if they have medium and low, users must review these lines. Again, this is something that you can change. So if you feel confident with medium, you can also, for example, clear these fields. And this means now that these medium lines also don't require a review. Okay, so let's return to the bank statement. There we go. So again, we need to review the lines. So we need to check if the applications that the system suggests are okay. Well, there are a couple of ways that you can do this. First of all, you can click on the notifications. If I click here on review applications, the first one will open and you get quite detailed information like the transaction date, of course, the text, the amount, the account name, and so on. And so based on the information that we get here, we could accept the application or remove it. And if you remove the application, you can apply manually, or you can transfer difference to another account. So these are the actions that you can take. So for the first line, let's just accept it. So everything seems well and it's medium, so the system found the correct transaction to apply with. So I will simply click on accept application. There we go. And now if we return to the payment reconciliation journal, you can see now that the first line is accepted. Let's go to the second line. Another thing that you can do is just click here on the match confidence field, and that will open the same page. So the same page with the same information. Now in this case, suppose that the application is not correct, I can then remove the application. So the application is removed. However, before you can post a payment reconciliation journal, each line must be applied. So and this means that here I need to, or I can go to the apply manually function, and this will then open the payment application lines. So in here I can now search for the customer or the vendor. I can search for the amount and so on. So and based on that, I can then select here the applied field. There we go. And then close. Next, I can then accept. And now also this line is accepted. So that's a second thing that you can do. And basically the same page, so we're basically doing the same thing. Okay, something else, or a third way, I will go to the third line. What you can also do is go to the manual application action here on the menu, and then go to the apply manually option. So this will bring me the same page as in the previous example. So also here I could remove the application, I could apply or I could select other lines and so on. Okay. But again, because all lines are medium and low, we should accept them. So I need to go to review and then accept the application. So only after accepting the application, the status or the match confidence will change. Okay. Let's go to the next line. So this is one with match confidence low. So, and I don't think this is correct because the system entered a customer tray research, but I think this should be posted to a GL account. Just an example to show you some of the options. Okay, so what you can do then is first of all remove the application. So I can click here on, let's see, there we go. I can click on review and then remove applications. There we go. Now you can see that the match confidence is none, and like I just said, this is something that you cannot post. So each line should have a match confidence, should be applied, but you can also do this manually. And for example, if you don't find the customer or the vendor, or if you just want to post it to a certain GL account, that's something that you can of course perfectly do manually. So if I go here to the account type, if I select GL account, and then if I search for an account, and let's take, for example, prepaid rent. There we go. You can now see that the match confidence is manual. So this means that I made a manual application. All right. So let's go to the next line. And in this case, let's just accept the last two applications. All right. So and this means now that everything has been accepted. So all lines have now the status of accepted, except for the one with manual. But this statement is now ready to post. Now, when posting a payment reconciliation journal, there are two options. So let's have a look. You can post payments only, or you can also reconcile them at the same time. So not only posting the payments, but also reconcile these bank transactions, which means that they're done at the same time, which could be very interesting. So let me do this. So I will click here on post payments and reconcile bank account. Yes. And the statement is posted and reconciled at the same time. So this is an example of how we can work with the payment reconciliation journal. In the next unit, you can find out how we can map text to certain GL accounts.